I'm recording this now. Okay, so I'm in my white 1 class right now, and I wanted to let you guys know white 3, I apologize, but I have to take my husband to the doctor because he's a doofus and he fell off a ladder. And yes, I will post that on YouTube for everybody to know that I think that my husband is doofus. But I do love him desperately, and I hope he's safe. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to go over numbers. We're going to look at the numbers, and we're going to pronounce them together. So as my class currently is right now pronouncing them, you also will pronounce them. They can't see you, Bailey, so there's no need to wave.
I was waving at you.
Okay, well, thank you for that. All right, so are we ready? Here we go. Class, répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. Zéro.
Zero.
Did you repeat after me? Let's try it again. Zéro.
Zero.
Un. Une.
Une.
Okay, quelle est la différence entre un et une, Jacques? And say it loud so the whole class can hear.
Un is masculine because her brother used to punching bags.
He's also a doofus, just so you know. Okay, continue.
And une is feminine because ladies like to sing tunes.
Ladies like to sing a tune, so that's easy way to remember un and une. La différence entre masculin et féminin. So continue. Zéro.
Zero.
Un. Deux.
Deux.
Trois.
Trois.
Quatre.
Quatre.
Cinq.
Cinq.
Six.
Six.
Sept.
Sept.
Huit.
Huit.
Neuf.
Neuf.
Dix.
Dix.
Dis-moi, classe, quel est quelque chose spécial de numéro 7? Quel est quelque chose très spécial de numéro 7, Aaliyah?
Because
September used to be the 7th. Exactly, absolutely. But la prononciation de la numéro ou de la chiffre.
The P is silent.
The P is silent. We do not pronounce that P. So it is not sept, it's rather set. Okay, so classe répétez. 5,
Cinq.
6,
Six.
7,
Sept.
8,
Huit.
9,
Neuf.
10.
Dix.
All right, continue. 11,
Onze.
12,
Douze.
13,
Treize.
14.
Quatorze.
What did I tell you about this one?
the QU equals C.
The QU makes the K sound. Exactly. Q and U in France are what?
Divorce.
Divorce. They no longer make that sound qua. I know it's terrible to say that, and I apologize, but it's Q and U in the U.S. They are married, and they forevermore will say the qua sound. In France, they do not. They do not. So, 14,
Quatorze.
15,
Quinze.
16.
Seize.
Like Aaliyah says, she's 16 years old.
Hey, Trudeau.
I'm just teasing, it is. And she says, I'm just teasing. So 14,
Quatorze.
15,
Quinze.
16,
Seize.
17,
Dix-sept.
18,
Dix-huit.
19,
Dix-neuf.
20.
Vingt.
Do we pronounce the T? Est-ce qu'on
No.
prononce le T? No, on ne prononce pas le T. Okay, here we go. Continue. 21.
Vingt et un.
Okay, that's 20 and 1. 20 and 1. That's how we say that, okay? Oui? But you only do that with the ones. 21, 31, 41, 51. That's the only time you ever do the 20 and 1. Lindsay, you have a question? Okay.
You pronounce the T.
Oui, because you have a T and an E side by side, and so it makes it like a liaison.
Okay.
Okay? Ready? Class, répétez. 21,
Vingt et un.
22,
Vingt-deux.
23,
Vingt-trois.
24,
Vingt-quatre.
25,
Vingt-cinq.
26,
Vingt-six.
27.
Vingt-sept.
Good. No, you cannot pronounce the P. 28.
Vingt-huit.
Remember, we'll pronounce the T. Why will we pronounce the T here?
Because it's a vowel.
H is technically a vowel sound. Remember, H's are silent in French, remember? So 28. Répétez s'il vous plaît. 28,
Vingt-huit.
29,
Vingt-neuf.
and then 30.
Trente.
All right, let's scroll down just a smidge. I may lose my video here for a quick second, but let's scroll down just really fast. And I want you to let me zoom in on it really fast to make it a little bit easier to see. All right. I know, that makes it so much better, doesn't it? And then you can still see me, which, let's be honest, that's the most important part. Just teasing. Not teasing. Okay, here we go. So we got 31 through 34. Why do you think they only give us 31 through, like they're giving us just the 30s and not giving us 40s, 50s, and 60s? It's the same pattern. It's the exact same pattern. Thank you, Alila. Good job, good job. All right, here we go. Répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. 31.
31,
Ooh, that was really weak. 31.
31,
32.
32,
33.
33,
34.
34,
Très bien. 35.
35,
36.
36,
37.
37,
On ne prononce pas le T. Okay, 37. And then 38.
38,
39.
39,
Okay, and then we go on to 40, 50, and 60, which are 40.
40,
Beautiful. 50.
50,
And then 60.
60.
All right, very good. I'm going to give you the pronunciation of this one. S-W-A-S-A-N-T-E. 60. That's the pronunciation for that. 60. Répétez après moi, classe. 60.
60.
Very nice. Okay, so do we see our patterns for our numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is 51?
5 et 1.
No, it's not 5 and 1.
5 et 1.
How about we raise our hands and let's think about it for a second. Oui, Toby?
51.
Perfect. 51. Beautiful. 51. So what do you think 43 is? Oui.
40 et
Do we have to have the A?
1.
No, so it's 40.
40.
43 is what I asked for.
Oh,
43.
I think it's 41.
No, 43. 43. What about 47, Bailey? I've never seen. Do we have to have the A in there? Is the A in any of these? It's just 40. Set. Yeah, you did.
I didn't think so. They
So it's just 40 set, not 40 set.
Okay.
Very good. I see where you're coming from.
I was
I
pronouncing
think
it wrong.
You're pronouncing this part right here. We don't have to pronounce that E.
Wrong.
No. That E is there just for future reference. That E is there to make us pronounce the T. Guys, for you guys who didn't have the class last year, what are the four
Careful,
letters?
careful.
You must be careful to pronounce these letters in French if they come at the end of a word. C, R, F, and L. Do you see how it says careful? It's kind of like, it's like, it's like texting language, careful. Be careful. Okay? But these four letters you most definitely can pronounce at the end of a word. Okay? Not a T, not an S, not anything like that. If you want to pronounce that T and that S, most of the time you have to add an E at the end of it to make it pronounced. Okay? Does that make sense so far? Are we cool? All right, we have one more thing to learn about the numbers, and it's a phrase, and it's a beautiful phrase because it's the most popular phrase in the entire French language. Yes, it is. I mean, like, it's going to blow your mind when you see it. Let me zoom out to go to single page. All right. The most popular phrase in France is this phrase here. Il y a. Classe, répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. Il y a.
Il y a.
Classe, il y a.
Il y a.
Il y a. Très bien. Okay, so il y a means in English there is or there are. Okay? Whether or not it's singular or plural, it will never change. It will always be il y a. So if I'm saying il y a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Il y a 13. Il y a 13 étudiants dans la classe. Il y a 13 étudiants dans la classe. We would say there are 13 students in the class. Il y a. But if I wanted to say il y a un téléphone, il y a un téléphone, there is one telephone in my hand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not it's singular or plural. Toby, tu as une question?
What's the difference between élèves and étudiants?
There isn't really. There isn't. I just know that étudiant was in your previous vocab, and that's why I used it. Most of the time I'll use the word élève. Good question.
It's like I love you.
I know. It's because we do love you well. Okay, so il y a. All right? So class, once again, répétez après moi. Il y a.
Il y a.
And that phrase right there means there is or there are. Okay? We're going to work on a couple of exercises in your book. that talks about the phrase il y a, and also in your workbook that talks about the phrase il y a. One thing that I want to make sure is we're going to talk a little bit about negative. If I can find where it talks about the negative expression. Okay, if okay, use the expression il n'y a pas. Now, do you see this N apostrophe and this pas here? Do you see that? That little n pas makes the phrase negative. And what we do with this ne pas, Jack, computer, what we do with this ne pas is we surround our verb with the negative phrase. So let's think about this as being something negative. Give me something negative. No. Give me something in your world that's a negative thing.
-1. -1, Rob.
Death. Death is negative, yes? People falling off ladders. My husband. Okay, people, seriously. Okay, so negative. So something that's negative, we're going to take that verb and we're going to surround it with negativity. Okay? If our verb begins with a vowel or a vowel sound, we make it an apostrophe because that E we can drop it. It's an unnecessary E, okay? This is just introduction, so don't freak out about it. But ne and pa, side by side, around a verb, make the verb negative, okay? So here's an example. If I wanted to say, je parle, I speak, je parle. What if I wanted to say I don't speak? Je means what? I. Parle means speak, right? So is this our verb? Parle is our verb. I feel like I should probably have this showing. Here we go. Je, and then parle. Okay. Je is I. Parle is speak, which is my verb. I'm going to take this verb and I'm going to surround it with negativity. I'm going to put a ne in front of it and a pas after it. And I'm going to say je ne parle pas means I don't speak. It will be. It'll show up proper on the radio. Okay? Are we cool?
Oui, madame.
Oui? All right. All right. So what we're going to do now is I want you to go ouvrez les livres. Ouvrez les livres. Ouvrez les livres. Open your books. Ouvrez les livres à la page 12. What page? 12. 12. À la page 12. Oui? Mais pourquoi tu n'as pas ton livre? Pourquoi? Yes, well, do you think that it's a thing where you're going to have your book? This is being recorded, by the way. I'm calling you out, Toby. Toby doesn't have his book. Toby! Go get it quickly, please. You're going to need to share. I don't have any extra books. Okay, so ouvrez les livres à la page 12, s'il vous plaît. Et vous allez compléter, what do you think compléter means? Complete les exercices 1 et 2 à la page 12. What am I telling you to do? Complete exercises 1 here on our screen. Do you see it on our screen? 1. And then complete exercise 2. Okay? All right? Complete exercises 1 and 2. Finally, what I want you to do is on this little sheet of paper that you are writing this down on, I also want you to put your telephone number or a fake telephone number. I don't care. Doesn't matter. We're going to talk a little bit about telephone numbers in just a little bit. All right? Everybody good? So, right now, complétez just your telephone number. I know you probably already know how that works. They don't. Like, you know how the digits are different? They don't know that yet. Okay, so complétez exercice 2 à la page 12, complete exercise 2, and exercise 1 on page 12. And then I want you to write down at the bottom of that little sheet of paper either your telephone number or a fake telephone number. It doesn't matter. I don't mind. But let's look at exercise number 1, if you don't mind. Numéro 1, on the modèle. The modèle. Do you see the modèle there? The the model example, we see a pattern here. We see 2, 4, blank, 8, 10. 2, 4, blank, 8, 10. So in this first space, you're going to write the numeric form of the number. In the space that comes after the little semicolon there, you're going to write the word form of the number. So if you'll see, in order to complete this pattern, we have to complete it with le numéro 6. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So what we've done is written the numerical form here, and then we've written the word form here. So that's what you will do now. I'm going to go ahead and give White 3 their work for the rest of the time, and then we are going to continue on as well, okay?
You still recording?
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
I love you, White 3.
Okay, Bailey says he loves you. Lord help you. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you're completing exercise 1 and 2 on page 12. And then I want you to read, just for a really cool culture activity, if I can get to it. I think it's on page 16. Don't quote me on that. It is not on page 16.
I thought you were supposed to know the book inside out.
I do know this book inside and out. Don't test me, mister. Pages 8 and 9. I want you to read pages 8 and 9, and I want you to complete the questions on the bottom of pages 8 and 9. So you're actually going to do, this is for White 3, you're going to do activity number 1, and then I want you to do activity number 2. I do not want you to do activity number 3 as of yet. So 1 and 2, read pages 8 and 9, complete exercises 1 and 2. Do not do exercise number 3. And then in your workbook, you're going to open up in your workbook. Let me pull it up for you, just so that I can make sure I have the correct thing. In your workbook, you're going to complete pages 5 and 6, exercises 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you don't finish those workbook pages, you can finish them for homework. But exercises 1, 2, 3, and 4, do not do section 5 and 6 on page 6, but just do page, here, I'll open it up really quick so you can see. All right, so here in your workbook, I want you to do the mot croisé, section numéro 2, combien, and that is with the phrase il y a. So every one of your sentences here should begin with the phrase il y a, okay? And then I want you to do section number 3 on page 6. Number 4 as well. So 1 through 4, don't do 5 and 6. Not necessary. We'll do that in class together, okay? Otherwise, that is it. Merci beaucoup, and I'm sorry I'm not there. I miss you. Vous me manquez. Au revoir. Bonne journée.